What's up, Nova Heads? It's Amber Nova.
This is Chris Lights Out Lido.
Hi, this is Ray Boom Boom Mancini. Hi, it's Boogie.
It's the real and raw August Artois.
This is Smiling Sam Alvey.
It's Archimedes.
I'm Jack Cartwheel, the real deal, the human highlight reel.
This is Steve Murray.
I'm Victor Henry.
It's ECW Original, The Enforcer, C.W. Anderson.
This is Honest John.
Luis Moreno. And it's Mr. Classic.
I'm Jason Punet.
The young ghost. It's old Hattie Price here.
When I say what's my name, tonight.
Richie Slade.
My name is Gino Rivera, the Frank Sinatra of the Spanish Mafia.
The incredible one, Anthony Idol.
This is Ken Shamrock.
The Golden Boy, Jordan Clearwater.
Yo, watch and listen.
Championship online.
This is Alex Mars here. Hi, Richard Modest.
So, please listen to it, otherwise be cursed. Okay, see you later. Love that dinners.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're now watching and listening to Championship on the Line podcast. My name is Alex with my co-host Rich, and today we have another special episode here with the WestCoast Wrestling Company owner Adam Ginsberg, and we're here to give a little preview of what's going to be going on this Sunday at the Wheelhouse in Hemet, California, as the WestCoast Wrestling Company is presenting the 13-year anniversary show, Wrestlewar, and also it's going to be a special night because they're doing a Hall of Fame ceremony. So it's going to be a very special night. You're not going to want to miss it. Tickets are still available right now on Eventbrite, and also limited tickets will be sold at the door. And so I'm so excited to talk to you about this. First, let's start with the Hall of Fame ceremony. You have two inductees into the Hall of Fame. You have Pops Luna and Crazy Kyle Haystacks. Tell us more about these two individuals.
In a nutshell, would there be a West Coast Wrestling Company without both of these men? You know, there would be, but they're instrumental at the very early stages of helping get this thing off the ground with their credibility alone, just their name, lending it to the company, helped us, obviously, from just being a normal, startup. And anytime you have veterans that come in and endorse you and help you along, I mean, that's a win-win situation. So Pops was a guy that could barely walk when I met him, but he'd get in the ring and teach old school lucha, some dirty, raw stuff, and just incredibly valuable stuff that, only Rudy and a few other people know. I made a video that when you guys are there on Sunday, small encapsulation of who Pops was. I mean, the guy he walked to the beat of his own drum. He was just, there's never going to be anybody like him. And, unfortunately, they never got to have a service for him with COVID and everything. So the family is going to come out on Sunday. So in a sense, this will be a celebration for the life of Pops. Crazy Kyle Haystacks, when you guys see the video, there's no one that's more real and convincing than Crazy Kyle Haystacks. And take it from me because I was in the ring with him and he suplexed me on barbed wire. The dude is as legitimate as they come. And it's my honor to be able to show our fans and everybody who exactly he was and put him over because he deserves it. He's a guy that's been in the business since the early 90s. He's been in the ring, everywhere, and he's done a lot. And the one thing he's not talked about in today's wrestling culture because he's just not, we tend to forget to remember certain people. And it's my job to remind people exactly who the hell Crazy Kyle Haystacks was, because he's a damn good man. And like I said, it's my honor to be able to do this, my privilege.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, like I said, I was doing a little research on Crazy Kyle Haystacks was watching all the old matches from West Coast and the promos and everything, and he just had the total package, from his wrestling and the promos, and it's awesome that he's finally going to get the recognition and he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. So that's awesome, especially with Pop Suna also. And then let's start with the first match. Obviously, let's go with the card. There's 5 total matches.
5 matches.
And I'm excited for all of them. Like, the first one we're going to talk about is Biggie Biggs taking on Haas Hog, which, obviously what happened in conflict resolution. Now, this is going to be a West Coast street fight, which anything can happen. Tell us your thoughts on this match.
Well, I'll tell you, Jarrell Diaz, whatever you want to call him, Jacob Diaz, will not be at the show. He is not.
Wow.
He was told by Haas Hog that he needs to stay at home. Haas needs to go out and prove that he can do this without any interference or shenanigans. So that was a big move from Haas. That shows me and tells me that Haas doesn't need help, that he has the confidence. And when you have the confidence, you can move mountains. So without Jacob Diaz being there, Enoch the Enlightened, whatever you want to call him, I think Haas Hog is going to serve up a beating to Biggie Biggs. West Coast street fight, what exactly does that mean? That means anything goes from the nose to the toes. And anything that's not bolted down at the wheelhouse, fair game. So these men are I don't know people that haven't seen these 2 men live and in person before, but they are no small men. These are just mammoth men. And when they collide, you can almost feel the earth move under your feet. All hell's going to break loose. And I'm going to personally sit back and enjoy it. And hopefully no one breaks anything seriously. But these guys are going to just beat the hell out of each other. And the fans are going to be witnessed to some of the most exciting thing that they've ever seen when Biggie Biggs and Haas Hog step into the ring on Sunday.
Absolutely. Especially, and it makes it so exciting because they really do not like each other. There's a rivalry between these 2 guys, and especially that just makes it a way more exciting, dangerous match. And I can't wait what's going to happen when these 2 guys step in there.
Yeah, all we're going to say is Anti-Am, we're not in Kansas anymore at the end of the night.
Oh, yeah. Again, I can't wait. It's going to be a great match. And also you have the next match, we have a rematch of so many matches. They going back and forth. We have Old Guard versus High Risk. And also both teams will be linked to another team with a chain between them. So again,
at the wrist, you're going to have a leather strap with a chain 10 feet attached to it. Both teams will have individual straps, so they'll be paired off. And this is more than just a chain match. The backstory is the biker chain was brought in by Pops Luna, who wore it and used it as his gimmick. So it's a family heirloom. So this match isn't just let's have a chain match to have a chain match. No. No, the Old Guard came out with the chain. Then the chain was used against them. And this is why we have the chain match. But make no mistake about it. When you throw the family heirloom part in that story just gets a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And again, they both have wins over each other. Old Guard beat them, High Risk beat them. Do you think after this night, you think this will be over? Do you see this rivalry continuing? Or do you think this is going to end it all? This is going to be it?
I truly don't know. Is anything ever over? You're right. They're tied at 1-1. Who knows? Who really knows? All I can tell you is that it's called Wrestlewar, not Wrestle Playtime. And there's going to be a war. There's been a war brewing since June 19th that nobody does it better between these 4 men. And Team High Risk, the smaller of the two, of the Old Guard, have brought it to them. They haven't been your proverbial underdogs, if you will. They have brought it to the Old Guard every step of the way. So it's been evenly matched. Now you throw a chain in there, the first to use it, that's going to be the victor right there. And it's only won by pinfall or submission.
Mm-hmm.
There's no touching four corners. It's pinfall or submission. So that's the way that match is going to play out.
Oh my gosh.
It's hard for me. Alex and I were talking about it, like you said, it's been brewing every time in the ring. It just gets hotter and hotter in there. And now you said it's personal. You know, they brought, you know, Pops Luna's, you know, chain, and you hear all the trash talk from High Risk saying, you know, they're going to shoot O'Yeller in the back of the barn. You know, I'm sure they heard that. It's just, it has all the ingredients to make, you know, the perfect ending. But like you said, you never know what might happen. It's hard for me to see both teams, you know, shaking hands and saying, see you down the road. I mean, it's hard to close that book. I mean, it's just been so exciting.
I'll tell you what, just when you guys think you have the answers, I'm going to change the questions to steal a line from Roddy Piper. Things that people think are going to go down, man, we're taking a left turn here because there's some fun stuff in store. So I'll tell you that much right now. The excitement level, I personally am excited just because we get to celebrate this anniversary and we get to all be together. But gosh, I mean, this is just on every level, every match, the climax to the stories, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you followed us since May 8th, you know we've been slow building. This is how you book, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you book pro wrestling, and it's just absolutely tremendous what's going to happen on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I'm excited for this match. I'm also excited that we're going to crown a new wild card champion. It's a fatal 4-way. Oh, he got the title. He's got it.
Wow. I have it right here. It is not comparable to the West Coast Heavyweight Championship by any stretch of the imagination, but it's its own. Brought in in 2010 by Jameis and Stafford, and brought in as a gimmick. Devin Sparks, the then West Coast Heavyweight Champion, you know, they don't want Stafford. They were a part of a group to be left out and gave Stafford the wild card title. That was almost a consolation prize. I said, Stafford, you want that title to be taken seriously? You have to defend it right now against 3 other men. That was the creation of the wild card championship, the secondary championship. I don't want to say secondary. It is the secondary championship to the West Coast. So you can look at it as the Intercontinental. You can look at it however you want, but every person in that match has a viable chance to become the new champion. And let us not forget that Stafford will be presenting the winner. He will be introducing the match. He will be sitting ringside during the match, and he will at post-match present the winner with this championship, whoever that may be. And I can tell you, I'm excited for the debut of Hunter Freeman. I've never worked with him before. I've seen his work. Our dates haven't lined up, and they have for this show. Same with Vito Fratelli. He's a guy that I've been wanting to, I've seen in person for so long that I've been wanting to work with. Again, schedules didn't work out. Stars aligned. Those two guys get to debut at the West Coast. Which better way but to do it for the Wild Card Championship? And then let's take nothing away from Manny Mars, who's been on nothing but a roll. And the Prince who will be on your guys' podcast very soon. And you'll see why he has the it factor when it comes to what people look at promoters or bookers in a professional wrestler. He has it. And, you know, Romeo Cruz, EWF, school champion. Could he add another title to that list? We'll have to see on Sunday. All 4 men, though, they're ready to go. And I'll tell you what, that's another match that you can't pick it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, like, you look back, like, obviously, like, you think when you look back at matches, like, Manny Mars has been in a row. He's had a few wins on the West Coast. On paper, you think, oh, well, he's the favorite to win this. But then in the end, you got these 2 other guys are making their debuts. You got Hunter Freeman, and then you got Vito Fratelli. You don't know what's going to happen. They never really face each other in the ring, so this is going to be a first. So we don't know what's going to happen, and it's a fatal 4-way.
Yep, that means all 4 men are going to go at it at the same time. And, you know, you almost get 2 matches there. You get 2 matches in one. And I love it because you can pair people off and you can rotate and you can give everybody a chance. And that's what I love about this whole thing, is giving people an opportunity. That's what this whole thing's about, is giving people the opportunity to see what they do with it. And I'll tell you what, when it's for a championship, that brings out the best in the competitor.
Absolutely, absolutely. Cannot wait for the match again. We're going to crown a new wildcard champion. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. And also, I'm also excited between this rivalry between Eric Cross and SoCal Crazy, and no disqualification match. Obviously, what happened in conflict resolution, Eric Cross attacks SoCal Crazy, takes his mask.
Yes.
And we know what happened. Crazy and Gatson defeated, AJ Wright, Rick Ellis, and SoCal, defeated Ellis, Eric Cross. And were you surprised that SoCal Crazy did not pick the title and actually picked a match between Cross?
I would tell you yes. However, the Lucha mask, the Lucha Libre heritage, it trumps everything. When you mess with the Luchador's mask, that's the most important thing to that individual. Knowing that happened earlier that day, it was a travesty. It was a miscarriage of justice, if you will. Eric Cross bit off more than he could chew, and SoCal Crazy. I've seen a side of SoCal Crazy at the last show that I never have seen, and I've known that man for 14 years. And I saw a fire lit under him, and I'll tell you what, the agency, man, they're barking up some wrong trees because they have pissed a lot of people off. And I'll tell you, SoCal Crazy is somebody you don't want on your backside. And Eric Cross, like no disqualification. Eric Cross, that means, at night your ass belongs to SoCal Crazy. So, again, don't take anything away from Eric Cross, though. Eric Cross is one of those guys that people may look at and not take seriously, but he's a guy he's the silent one. He is the guy that sometimes the silent people are the most dangerous. And now that I'll make sure AJ Wright isn't out there, so there'll be no excuses. So it's going to be, again, one-on-one. There will be no distractions. There will be no BS. It will be both men. Anything goes, and we must have a winner.
Mm-hmm. And we interviewed the agency a couple of days ago, and
the privilege of hearing that. I'm sorry, you guys had to endure that. Good Lord.
Oh yeah. And it seemed like Eric Cross, looks like he just underestimated SoCal Crazy. He seems cocky. He seems very confident that he knows he's going to beat SoCal Crazy.
Well, what if he does? What if he does beat SoCal Crazy? Think about that. Eric Cross automatically gets elevated. Mm-hmm. So, that overconfidence, we've seen it 100 times, can come back to bite you in the ass. It absolutely can. Will it happen on Sunday? I don't know. All I can tell you is that you do not want to miss this encounter because both men have a point to prove. And that's the best type of match, is when both guys have something that they have to prove, not only to themselves, but to the fans and to the company. That's when you get the best.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And again, Rich and I are very excited for that match. The disqualification match between SoCal Crazy, Eric Cross. But now let's switch to the main event.
Yes.
We have the West Coast Wrestling Company heavyweight champion, Rick Ellis, defending against Brandon Gatson. But that's not only that. Manager AJ Wright will be handcuffed to you during ringside. What made you decide to do this, and why to be handcuffed by AJ Wright?
Okay, well, anybody that's watched knows that he's just constantly interjected himself, right? And I've had to constantly come out there, and instead of constantly having to constant, why don't we just put a stop to it? Instead of saying, you go to the back and risk him having to come back out again, we're going to make sure that doesn't happen, because we're going to be ringside. And these are
some handcuffs here.
Handcuffs. You cannot break these open with a push button. And we will be sitting together. It'll be the worst night of my life, having to endure the smell that AJ Wright has and the odor that he oozes. But that's another story. That's something that I have to take upon myself. If you want something done, you got to do it yourself. And AJ Wright has just been every single time has just been in the wrong place at the wrong time. Mm-hmm. So we're going to give this match, again, just like the SoCal Crazy Eric Cross match, we're giving this match no excuses, no BS, no interference. It's going to be Rick Ellis, who is the West Coast heavyweight champion. But we all know he had a little help to get there. Now he is on his own against a man who is right now the hottest he's ever been, and that's Brandon Gatson. He started wrestling for GCW. He's got dates coming up. The guy, he's on a roll. And I'll tell you what, there will be nothing getting in his way. And I'm personally going to make sure of that. It's not me wanting to go out there to get my face over. It's because it needs to get done. I'm the judge, the jury, and the execution of the West Coast Wrestling Company. And AJ Wright is going to find out that on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. And Rick, he keeps telling himself, he is the forever champ. And AJ says that he does have a plan. He says he's coming in prepared for this, being handcuffed to you. What do you say about that when he says he does have a plan for you?
Well, what Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face, right? What plan can you possibly have that I cannot overcome or rule against? Let's just face it. There's nothing. He can come up with any excuse in the world, but the excuses are going to run out on Sunday, because we've seen since June, we've seen July, we've seen August, we've seen the interference, the nonstop interference. We've seen him run his mouth and be where he shouldn't belong. And that's all there is to it. Brandon Gatson deserves this more than anything. He deserves a fair and square chance to show everybody how damn great he is in the ring. And there needs to be, at the end of the night, no excuses. And I'm making sure there are none.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. Gives me a little goosebumps here, man. I'm excited for it. It's, again, this is, the rematch. Obviously, Rick did defeat Brandon Gatson the first time, but obviously there was a little assist from AJ.
Absolutely.
But this is it now.
It's like Ellis and I were talking. My palms are literally sweaty right now from hearing this. I hear your voice. Almost feeling like, Brandon deserves it. He deserves a clean win. Whatever happens that night, walks away as champion. But we kind of know that Brandon's been getting screwed over with the agency. He hasn't got that, fair shake. And we will get it this Sunday, with AJ getting handcuffed for you. So much has gone on. At one point, Ellis laid his hands on you. He's disrespected, his fellow wrestlers. He disrespected you. He disrespected the town of Hemet. I mean, at one point, disrespected us, myself and Alex, in and out, California. There's no target. Whatever he shoots, he goes for it. I mean, when this all settles down, do we see, a handshake with you and the agency once this is over?
Oh, God. I mean, no. That's just... That's not even a possibility. I would say, hell freezes over, but here we see CM Punk back in pro wrestling, right? No, there's always going to be that evil empire of a group. That's not going to change. I'm always going to stand up for what's right. I'm always going to, the agency may not like it, but I'm always going to make sure that everything is fair and square. And Brandon Gatson has endured too much, and he's gone through way too much. But that is making him a better competitor, because he's laser focused. I talked to him the other day, and I've never heard such, I don't want to say seriousness, because the man is serious, but I've never heard such assurance from a pro wrestler that I had from when I talked to Brandon Gatson about how sure he was that he was going to be victorious. And he told me he's going to have a match that makes pro wrestling proud, makes the business proud. He's going to have a match for the business. So when you put that pressure on yourself, or you put that line out there, oh my God, that's real heavy, and that's a big order to fill. When he said that, man, I'll tell you what, I was okay. Whatever you need, we're going to make sure it gets done, so he doesn't lack confidence. If anything, right now, Brandon Gatson is primed and ready to go. And Rick Ellis, we've seen him. He's taken so many years off. He came back. It's like riding a bike for him. He didn't miss a beat. So when you have both men, and I'll remind you guys, this is the healthiest, injury-free both men have ever been in their entire careers. Put that on the table. You have got the greatest professional wrestling match that's going to take place in Southern California on September 26th. I guarantee it.
I'm not lying. I'm getting goosebumps just hearing, like you said, both men are just laser focused and 100% ready. They're both different. I mean, you see, they're both, Rick Ellis comes with this swagger and little cockiness, but deep down, he knows how good he is. The same thing with Gatson. Gatson's quiet. He's kind of that lone wolf, but he has this aura of this intensity. Once he passed by him, you could feel it, how much he wants it this Sunday, how much he wants to become champion. I mean, it's just crazy.
I told Brandon Gatson in May that he is going to be signed somewhere by the end of the year. I just have a feeling. I don't know anything. I don't have any inside information. I can just tell you the man has the look. He has it all. He's the total package. And I'm not talking about Lex Luger. He's the 2021 total package, Brandon Gatson. It's ready-made for him. That night is going to be magic. And Rick Ellis, I don't know why he wants to keep coming towards me. He wants to put his hands on me, but that's all going to end. I can guarantee it. The agency is going to have to pay for all their sins on Sunday, because when it's all said and done, I have a feeling, and I know in my heart, this is going to be the greatest professional wrestling show that's been put on to date.
Oof. Oof. Man. Oh my gosh, man. I'm so excited for this again. Sunday, September 26th. Go buy tickets right now, Eventbrite. If you're not, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you, but please go buy tickets right now on Eventbrite, and limited tickets will be sold at the Wheelhouse in Hemet, California. It's the biggest West Coast wrestling comedy event ever. So please.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a guarantee. That's a promise. I'll tell you this right now, guys. There's nothing that's going to be better than the West Coast Wrestling Company on Sunday, September 26th. You guys have been there since the beginning of our run in Hemet. You've seen it. I've told you. I prophesized what was going to happen, and I'm a man of my word. And I promise you, Sunday is going to be a night that no one will ever forget.
Oof. Oh my gosh, man. I cannot wait for this again. Rick Ellis defends his title against Brandon Gatson. You got Cross versus Crazy, Ogard versus High Risk. We're crowning a new wild card champion. Also got a Hall of Fame ceremony going on. No, you're not going to want to miss this. Please, again, it's going to be the greatest event West Coast Wrestling Company ever. Please go buy tickets right now. There are still tickets available on Eventbrite, and will be sold at the Wheelhouse. And again, you're not going to want to miss this. Anything you want to say? Anything else, Adam?
No, I just want, real quickly, I want to thank you guys for this opportunity. You guys are gentlemen and scholars, and I appreciate the opportunity you've given to some of the boys to come on your podcast and just get themselves over. Anything that they can do to promote themselves is the name of the game. And it's been a fun ride. It's been stressful as all hell, but it's been a fun ride, and I've enjoyed creating and presenting characters in a way that maybe they're not presented. And it's been absolutely something that is, I almost get emotional thinking about it, but it really means the world to me to be able to do this and have the support from like you guys or from the boys or from my family to believe in me to do this. That takes a lot. And I don't know if Sunday is going to be it. It may or may not be, but all I can tell you, if it is, man, what a hell of a run. But if it isn't, Jesus Christ, what did we start?
Oh, man. And again, Adam, for everything you've done for us, with everything, we want to thank you for everything, for opening doors for us, getting to do and having your wrestlers, your roster to come on our podcast. It means everything to us. So thank you, Adam, for everything you have done for us.
The business, you're supposed to help the other person out, and I'm a firm believer. There's certain promoters out there that just look to be assholes. They're in Southern California. They live in Southern California. They just look to be assholes to other people, and it's not the way to be, man. You got to help people out, because no one's going to succeed in this business by themselves. So you never know who you help out. They get to the top, they might remember you, whatever the case may be. So I'm a firm believer in whatever I can do to help somebody out. That's the name of the game. So this whole thing has been, it's been my honor, and I look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday. I look forward to seeing the fans again on Sunday. The most important thing, the reason we have these shows is because of the live audience, and the live audience means so much to the wrestlers, means so much to me, that you guys come out and support this crazy vision that I have in my head of what pro wrestling is, and couldn't do it without you guys. So if you're watching and you're still on the fence about coming to the West Coast Wrestling Company, you're not sure, what the hell are you thinking? What's the matter with you? I promise you, there is nothing that you will see, maybe on TV, but there's nothing better you will see and have a better live experience at than the West Coast Wrestling Company. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this, and you guys see it and you know it. And I don't have to put myself over. The West Coast Wrestling Company is the place to be, and you need to be there on Sunday the 26th.
And there you go.
That's how you cut a promo, kid.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm just going to leave it at that. And again, tickets are available right now. Eventbrite, go buy them right now. And that's going to do it for us. Again, thank you so much for Adam for being on the podcast. And again, thank you guys for watching Championship Online. We'll see you guys next time.
So long, everybody.